Hi everybody, welcome back to Prison Architect. That's right, here we are in the Women's New York State, Upper New York State Women's Correctional Penitentiary for the judicially challenged of New York and other parts of the US of A. How do we spell freedom in the USA? That's right, you spell it USA, right? From Glow, do you guys remember that part in Glow? That made me laugh. Also, my wife laughed a lot at that as well. It was a really good line, actually. Anyway, we're back. Man, this place is a total mess. We were losing money last time and trying to get this all set up, if you remember. It looks like the old shower on the toilet trick is maybe working, and I'm kind of tempted now that we can do small cells to like refit some of normal sec here and take advantage of that. Instead of having these big shower rooms, it just means that we can get rid of shower time altogether as well, and people can do more stuff. Because right now, actually, this is making my brain melt. I can't even look at it. It's too much. Okay, so it looks like we have a bunch of people finishing their breakfast, which is pretty nice. Everybody is coming out of the canteen. Breakfast time is done. It looks like it's work lockup time and work free time for our other people in Max Sec, who are sort of just living in the dark over here, it seems. And it looks like somebody has been found. Oh no, it looks like there's a hacksaw inside a crate of potatoes. Okay, let's search it just in case. We're gonna search these trays. Even though I think we already found the hacksaw, we're still going to search it anyway, because you never know. It looks like all of the ladies are in there doing the laundry, which is pretty good. We should have a couple of ladies working. We do, inside the kitchen. This is nice, okay. We're going to have to make sure that we get this other kitchen set up before long as well. And we can maybe make that a bit of a priority because, wow, I mean, we can't even afford to make $800 worth of walls because actually we only have 292 bucks. Okay, so people are saying that a good way to save on some money is to ditch some of these programs. We have 14 in the queue for pharmacological treatment of drug addiction. Okay, let's do just one of these a day, okay? And we're gonna do alcoholics group therapy, just one of them as well. Okay, we got all these parole hearings. We don't have spiritual guidance. Behavioral therapy. I think we could probably cancel some of these as well. Kitchen safety and hygiene. We have 6 passed. Okay, let's get rid of one of those two. And let's get rid of the second workshop safety induction as well. That's gonna save a, look at how much money we're bringing in per day now. 2,174 big ones. That's great. What a turnaround. Thank you very much for the advice. Sorry, sometimes it takes me a little while to act on this advice. It's two-pronged. First off, sometimes I batch record. Not always, but sometimes I do. And sometimes I just don't really look through a lot of the advice in the comments and stuff. Sometimes it takes me a little while to get around to it. And other times it's because I'm fragile and I don't like people calling me a big doofus all the time. So I try to, like, you know, shield myself from that. I'm just joking. It's more laziness than anything. Anyway, okay, so with our 369 bucks to our name, what could we possibly do? Not much, it turns out. We're just going to have to wait around for some of this money to start rolling in. We have cell block C, which is 80% complete now. We have to raise our prisoner capacity to 100. We currently have 80, and we'll get 20 grand for doing that. We've also, it seems that we've produced a couple of license plates, which is quite nice. We've produced 23% of the license plates that we need to produce towards getting 10 grand in the bank. I guess another way that we could make some money potentially is by having like a forestry area, which would be pretty good. I mean, we could probably just do that straight away, right? We could get some forestry and we could start chopping up some trees and stuff. Should we just get like a big old forestry area down here? Get our workmen out there to plant some trees and chop them down, and we can make some money off the sale of wood. That would be nice. I guess we're gonna also need to make some money off of wood eventually, so that we can, hey, hang on a second though. Okay, no, you can't assign prison labor to forestry, so it looks like it's just going to be the workmen who are going to go down there and do it. Okay, I guess once they're all done, like their deliveries and stuff. Oh, but wait, hang on a second. I can hire some more workers now. We only have 6 workmen, so let's get back up to, oh Christ, okay, no, never mind. I can't. It costs 500 bucks per hire. We could afford like the daily amount, but we cannot afford, unfortunately, the initial down payment of $500 for one workman. Well, that's fine. That's fine. We can afford one now. I don't know if we should actually spend the... Okay, good. Somebody has passed their parole hearing and we got $3,000. That's great. Okay, first things first. Oh, look. Okay, good. The trees are now planting themselves and they will grow as well. This is really good. Listen, you can hear it. Look at that. You would be petrified, wouldn't you, if you were in your bedroom? It's like early in the morning. You can hear the birds chirping, and outside all you can hear is this like weird thudding and the sound of like a jail door closing. You're like, what is that noise? I've never heard anything like it before in my life. And you look outside and trees are literally planting themselves, and that's the sound that they make. Holy crap. I mean, already I am trembling with fear at the thought of that. I just think that that's terrible. Okay, perfect. Let's get a wall and a door. It leaves us with 2,725 big ones. This is pretty good. Is anybody unable to get to where they need to go? It doesn't look like it. It looks like we've got enough space for all of our max sec prisoners, and they are in their cells doing stuff. This is nice. And nobody is complaining about not having a place to go, which is nice as well. Okay, so it comes down to, do we need the big kitchen now? I'm gonna say that, yeah, we probably do, because look at how many prisoners need to be fed and aren't being fed. Okay, that has to be the priority, so that's what we're gonna go for. We're gonna go for the big kitchen. We're gonna get as much in here as we can, and we're going to hopefully solve the food problems for everybody involved inside this prison, because that is terrible. And if we ever get inspected by the government, they are going to be pretty pissed at the fact that, you know what, we're not actually feeding all of the prisoners in this prison, and it's going to lead to some serious discontent, I think, if we're not careful. It's going to be pretty bad. We were going to make this yard out here too, weren't we? Of course, yes. Okay, so we want to have some fences. Oh my god, I cannot. Jesus Christ. We just lost 3,900 on a tree. Did we just spend $3,000 planting all these trees? Tell me that that didn't just happen. Well, luckily we're making some big bank now, so we can actually make up this money. Okay, and at least we were able to put some lights into the kitchen and also make the wall of the kitchen as well before we ran out of money. We might have to sell, you know what? I normally don't do this, but we might actually have to sell some shares of our prison and then buy them back later on. Look, if we can sell, we don't want to sell the whole prison, but look, we can make $28,000 straight away just by selling 10% of our shares. It's like a no-brainer, right? We need to get this show off the road, for Christ's sake. Okay, let's do it then. We've done it. We've sold 10% of our shares. We've invited in... See, now we've invited in shareholders, unfortunately. We've sold off some of our shares, so that means that we're liable to people who actually want to make a profit off this prison. And they're going to get together as a group of individuals, probably well-to-do individuals who've got money, live out in the suburbs somewhere, and they probably have like a keen interest in keeping people down inside places like this, but also making money off them. And the minute shit starts to hit the fan, they're going to be all over it. And I don't want to have to be dealing with that. So our next big priority is going to be to pay off that loan. But before we do that, let us get some of this stuff that we desperately need set up. Okay. We're going to make a super kitchen inside Max Sec, and it's going to be pretty fantastic. Okay, we're going to start with a metal detector so that nobody can lift like screwdrivers and stuff out of here, because that would be terrible. All right, let's get a couple of ovens set up. We're going to get them set up like this. It's going to be like Gordon Ramsay's like super whatever you call it, kitchen nightmares or whatever. That's what it's going to be like. We're going to make like a super kitchen from hell. It's going to be great, and Gordon Ramsay himself is going to come in and do some instructional tutelage on how to do all this. Oh, sorry about that. A little bit of a cut because I had to go answer the phone, and also I had to let some people in to examine the casserole that I had in the oven as well. So, but I'm back anyway. Good. Okay, so we carry on with the kitchen, and we carry on talking about Gordon Ramsay's kitchen nightmares in prison. Could that be a thing? I don't know if I'm not sure if Gordon Ramsay would do well in a prison. Like, he can talk the talk, but can he walk the walk? That's what I'm not too sure of when it comes to Gordon Ramsay. I mean, he'd come in and he'd be like, this is fucking disgusting. This is gonna make me fucking puke, and like, you know, the usual sort of stuff that he says about things that are made in a kitchen that isn't necessarily run by him or whatever. But like, I get the feeling that maybe prisoners might be a bit like, fuck you, Gordon. You know, we got shivs here, bitch, and we're not afraid to use them. And you know what? Actually, it's time to die, Gordon. And maybe they just, you know, shank him up good and leave him full of holes, and you know, just sort of leave him there, all floppy and dead in the kitchen for somebody to find. Hopefully not in this prison, actually, because we've already had our fair share of mortalities in here, and we damn well sure don't want to have more of them. But maybe we could make a special exception for Gordon Ramsay. I'm not sure. I don't know. It depends on how you all feel about Gordon Ramsay. Personally, I could take him or leave him. I don't wish him to be dead, though. But you know what? If that's the way that it's got to go inside this women's federal prison institution of Upper New York State for people to be happy, well, maybe sacrifices do need to be made, and maybe that is one of the... Just ignore me. I don't know what I'm fucking talking about. Like, at the best of times, I don't know what I'm talking about. So, okay, let's get a jail door. Let's make it a large jail door so that it actually, like, sort of lines up somewhat with the walls and stuff. And then we are going to, of course, also demolish these walls. This is going to be our super duper unsafe, very risky outdoor yard for Max Sec, which actually I'm tempted to just ring. I'm gonna leave it open and probably ring it around some more cells and stuff for Max Sec so that they can't just escape the yard, and we don't need to worry too much about having like snippers and stuff as well. That will also make it so that this will be like enclosed by walls and buildings as well, which is not a bad thing, I don't think. I mean, I think that's a pretty good thing. Are these things not hooked up? Ah, we're missing one more piece to the puzzle. And in fact, we're probably missing a couple of other bits and pieces too. All right, let's get our staff back up to a good number. So let's get like 1, 2, 3, 4 workmen back in. We're still making some good money here, and we still have 21,000 in the bank, and our super kitchen is almost all done, and we can get Max Sec in here trained up to work. Probably gonna need a couple of more cooks as well. Currently have 7 cooks, which is hilarious because we only have, you know, 2 ovens. I don't know what all the other cooks are doing. I guess they're just on a really good rota. Maybe they're like the most well-rested in the prison in terms of staff. At least that could be something that we could maybe brag about, but very little else when it comes to this game because holy crap, just so bad. Okay, let's get this large pipe going up into here. This is good, and then we will connect up this sink with only cold water. Okay, we don't want to have hot water in that kitchen. It's going to be used by Max Sec, and we don't want any jugging to occur inside the prison. That is the last thing that we want to have happen. It looks like some people are having some problems finding a cell. We have 2 prisoners without cell. Maybe it's people that have been bumped up to Max Sec. It looks like Max Sec is fully occupied. Okay, so we have to build a couple more cells, which is not a problem. We can do that. We now have a little bit of money, so we can do this. We can make a cell down here. Our, you know, our template cell. Let's put a bookshelf in here for them as well. Let's put a light in here as well. And then let's go for the old toilet shower head combo with a drain underneath. So this works out good too, because if you accidentally miss the toilet when you're doing your thing, like, I mean, most ladies, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but most ladies, I assume, sit down to do like a number 1, for instance. But if they wanted to, they could stand up. Am I right? Or am I right when I say this? It is possible. They'd have to do like a bit of a squat or whatever, but they could do it. And if they were inclined to do their number 1 in that fashion, there's potential for a bit of missage there, I would say. And, you know, having the grate underneath the toilet means that it's a catch-all. You know, anything that goes flying out of the toilet, for whatever reason, because it could happen, it's just going to get caught by the drain. And somebody's got to get down into those drains and clean those drains as well, which is unfortunate, but also a fact of life. It's just the type of thing that happens in this world. And certain people need to go down there and clean those pipes. And you know what? Why not it be prisoners? Especially if they're in a prison. You don't want, like, innocent civilians inside the pipes of a prison. I wouldn't have thought. It's dangerous. You know, what if they encounter somebody in mid-escape down there? Then what? What do you tell the family of somebody who, you know, gets like kidnapped or potentially even killed during that scenario. I don't know. I don't want to be the guy who has to explain that to anyone, to be perfectly honest. So, there. Good. Okay. We now have a max sec yard, which is nice. Okay, perfect. We are going to make sure that it is a yard. It is a yard, but we're also going to go to deployment and make sure that it's a max sec only yard, because it needs to be. Also want this kitchen to be max sec only too, and we would also like this to be staff only, also up here to be staff only. Of course, there is no access to this entire part of the prison, which is a great shame, but also sort of the way that things go. Okay, we're gonna have to make it so that we can access this outside bit. So we need some patrols up here. So we're gonna have to put a jail door there. It looks like this guy here is, the dog is dead, and this guy is pissed off because he is locked into this weird maze that I've created. I don't know why I bothered creating that maze, but it seemed like the right thing to do at the time, and that's why I did it. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it, okay? Gee whiz. Okay, perfect. All right, so the super kitchen is nearly online. It is so nearly online that actually some of the cooks here have decided to start using it, which is good, because that means that maybe for once we'll actually be able to feed all of our prisoners. Wouldn't that be a thing? Okay, we have an urgent need for a guard to investigate this tray of bacon as well, please, if a guard could make himself available. And also we need to get, we have to get like our sort of other mini security area set up over here for MaxSec. MaxSec's gonna have its own little security office that is gonna have things like its own doors, system and its own CCTV system as well. And I'm thinking that, you know what, why don't we just put it in here? Why don't we put it in here? And actually, you know what, let's just like go for it right now. Look, we're just gonna actually put this in here like this. We're gonna make sure this out in the hallway. We're gonna give it a staff door. Okay, we don't want anyone coming in this area, this hallway, okay? This is just gonna be used to transport prisoners and stuff. Oh, the chief is calling us. The chief. That radio host was apparently fired after a lot of complaints. There shouldn't be any more problems with radios in the prison. Wonderful. Well, that's good news. I mean, Jesus, that is really good news. I'm so glad that we're not going to have problems with this radio guy ever again. That's really, really good news. Okay. Let's get some door servos set up there. Now that we're like flush with cash, we should be in a good spot to... Hang on a second. Oh, we didn't lay the big pipes. I see. I see. Okay. We're working on doing the big pipes. You know what? Let's open this door. Is this one ready to go? It is. It looks like it. Okay, let's make this into a cell, and hopefully we can get somebody to live in here. We're just missing a grate, but the rest of the cell is ready to go. We got 2 minimum security and 4 normal security prisoners arriving in the next hour. Looks like this cell is ready to be moved into, so that's pretty good. And we should be able to do the quick build on here. You know what? This little shower technique is working out well. Look at these people wake up and straight away they just have a nice shower. It's great. First thing they do, take a little dump and have a shower. That's good. It's really good. Holy crap. I'm like really finding a lot of inspiration in that, and also motivation too, that I didn't think I had or was capable of. So there's that. That's good. Okay, let's get 2 more capacitors, bringing us down to... We've chewed through that money that we needed. Holy crap, did we ever chew through it. Like, it is almost gone. We have 10 grand left. Luckily for us, we're still making some money, and it looks like we've had an overdose here. Looks like Fleming, our CI, has had some sort of overdose or is thinking about drinking pee. I'm not sure. I can't quite decide which one it is, but it's one of the two, and you know what? I'm thinking that it might be the pee, actually. Okay, so we have the cells. We're building some more cells. We have enough construction workers to do this. We're making a lot of money. And I guess the next thing we need are some family cells for MaxSec. And this is for mothers who are unable to act appropriately in MinSec or NormalSec and have to get bumped up to the embarrassing MaxSec. Okay, that's not a place that you want to be in. But it'll happen. From time to time, it will happen. And when it does happen, we need to have a cell to accommodate them. And that's going to be one of the next things that we do. We're now back up to 13,683 big ones. Pretty nice. I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, room then. We want this to be a security room in here. It's not going to be like an armory or anything. It needs to be 4x4 to work. Pretty sure that that is 4x4. It is. Okay, good. We need an office desk, a chair, and a filing cabinet for it to actually register as what we need it to be. So let's get the office desk here. Let's get the chair here as well. And then we'll get like the filing cabinet sort of like here. Actually, you know what? That's fine. It doesn't look like they'd be able to pass this, but actually if you were to look at it straight on, there's like a little bit of room for somebody to just squeeze in there. Good. And then we also need, of course, a light right in the center of the room. And we are also going to go into utilities and we're going to put in a door control system. Perfect. And a CCTV monitor. Okay, these are going to be just for max sec, okay? We're going to try something a little bit new here. We're going to try having stuff just for max sec, okay? Their own little security room, separate from the rest of the big security room, okay? So this big security room that's over here, sort of handling min and normal sec, and then max sec is going to have its own infrastructure for all this. And that way, we can make sure that if there's any like weird bottlenecks or problems in min or normal sec, it's not going to affect these people who are in max sec, who arguably need to be watched over a little bit more closely because they're like hardcore criminals who have killed people and have done a manslaughter and countless other terrible things as well. I mean, we have our Lila Griffith is in here somewhere as well, right? Who do we have informant-wise? We've got a deadly prisoner here. Do we have anyone else that we need to be... Oh, look, we've got the new intake. We've got an instigator, quick, volatile. We've got a couple of gang members up in normal sec. We knew about this. We've got some people that we don't know who they are. Like this person here. Who is this? Looks like it's AC Slatter. Possibly the... Holy shit. Okay, here's Lila. Lila is... I don't feel very comfortable with the fact that Lila just has a job now in the laundry room. Like, I'm kind of tempted to make it so that the max sec people do not have jobs and do not integrate over here. Like, we might just need to make this out of bounds. You know what I mean? Like, maybe we just have to put like a little airlock here to separate them out, put it staff only so that they can't actually leave max sec, and then we can have some stuff over here for them instead. Like, they've got the kitchen that they can work in. That's pretty good. In actual fact, let's get this program going. Or do you think the one in the... Look at that. We got 6. Okay, good. We've updated it. We're just going to have the 9 to... Wait a second. Okay, yes. Yes, we're going to do this, okay? Because we still want to train the ones... Okay, so we want to train the ones in the other kitchen, and then we want to train the ones in the new kitchen as well. We're going to need to, okay? Because we want to cut down on the amount of civilian cooks we have and just have prisoner cooks running the kitchen eventually. I think that's going to be the way to do it. Oh, look at these cells are coming up real nice. Okay, we have 5 prisoners unable to be assigned to a cell. I'm not sure why. Maybe our capacity is full elsewhere. I don't know. We don't have a holding cell, so it's impossible to actually see who it is that isn't able to be assigned. Maybe we should have a holding cell for that reason alone. I'm not sure. But it looks like actually... oh, look, Lila Griffin. Here she comes. She's being escorted very slowly to what looks to be her new cell. Oh, Lila, welcome home. You're where you belong now, bitch. That's right. You're gonna sit in this cell all by yourself until the end of your days, because guess how long you're in here for? 96 years. Look at this. Fraud, forgery, bribery, murder. You're gonna be getting the chair, Lila, if I've got anything to say about it. It's gonna be nice. Okay, good. Do we need power in here? We probably do. We're gonna have to connect up the power like this. All of our men, our workmen, are very busy doing workman stuff. But so far so good. I think we're in a good spot here, okay? We got the big kitchen up and running. We got more than enough cooks to work in that kitchen, and we should have no problem feeding everybody in the prison off the back of this kitchen, especially once we get some more people trained up to be able to do these jobs. That would be really good. But we will continue doing that next time. Another day passes without incident in our wonderful Women's Correctional Institute facility of Northern New York State. Great. All right. Excellent. Well, as usual, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.